Hey all, I just thought I'd put a video up. I was going to do some stuff on the Ranger this week, but it's just been brutal up here. We've had a string of 37 days. We had 37 today. It was supposed to rain, but we got no rain today. It's just been too hot to do anything outside, so I'm sitting around bored, and idle hands do the devil's work, as they say. So I thought to myself, what can I do? Oh, here we go. I'll put another YouTube video on. So today what I'm going to do is just quickly go through the headsets that I've got. You may have noticed in my last one I mentioned how I bought a cheaper pair, and then I've got these that I'm currently wearing. These are double the price of the first ones. So we'll just quickly go through them, what I found about them, how comfortable were they, what their sound quality was like. I'll put some specs up and stuff like that. To be honest, if you're looking for comfort, unfortunately, you need to spend the money. Okay, we'll get into it. These are the Superlux HD330s. These are the first headphones that I bought. I bought them from the same company that I bought the guitar from, my bass guitar. Bought it as a package. These were $59. As you can see by the pictures on the box, they're basically a copy of the Beyerdynamic DT770s. And this is the box that they come in, obviously. Inside that plastic case on the left, the headphones are actually packed in the bubble wrap. And then they're in this plastic case, which is actually fairly sturdy. The only problem is that inside the case, there is no felt or softness in there. So if you were going to store the headphones in here, you'd want to hang on to the bubble wrap. These are the headphones themselves. Leatherette, as you can see, leatherette headband and ear pads. On the sides, Superlux HD330 Professional. Left side. That'd be the front side, I guess you'd call it. Right side, same branding on the right side. And then these would be the back side. A bit of flex in the headband, but not that much. Not enough adjustment for my big head, even though it seems like there's a lot. And these are metal, so the whole headband is metal. And I'm not a big fan of these wires sort of hanging out, but it's neither here nor there. No twisting in the ear pads, as you can see. Now, this cord, which is like a telephone cord, looks cool, but in practicality, it's actually very annoying, and it's not long enough. Then we have the connection, obviously, 1/2 inch or 6.3 mil down to 3.5 mil. Standard sort of audio jack, and that's a screw-on, screw-off connector. Okay, that's the Superlux HD330s. I'll put some specs up. These are the PreSonus HD9s. Leatherette once again, as you can tell, but straight away you can tell they're better quality. PreSonus branding on the headband. And then when you look at the sides, it's just the PreSonus logo. Quite understated, it just says HD9 there. I'm a huge fan of these, especially coming from the cheaper ones. Great width on the headband there, as you can see, especially for my big head. And the ear pads on this one do full 180-degree rotation. Great for DJs, things like that, if you have to flip one ear off. And then the ear pads also up and down, like that. Feel really very heavy duty in the hand, even though it's plastic. The adjustment is huge, like seriously big. For my big head, once again, very, very good. And very easy to adjust when they're on the head. Okay, they don't come in a box, they come in a little bag. Inside a box, which I can't find. But yeah, they have a little PreSonus bag. Now, this is a true 3-meter audio cable. Once again, 6.3 mil down to 3.5 mil, screw-on, screw-off connectors. But it's a genuine, straight 3 meters of cable, which is brilliant. Okay, that's the PreSonus HD9s. To say I'm a fan's a bit of an understatement, coming from the cheaper ones. And we'll put some specs up for these. These are the HD330s on my head. These are at max extension, and they're still putting pressure on the top of my head here, and they're pushing around the outside of my ears. So for someone of my head size and shape, they're actually pretty uncomfortable. I found when I wore them for long periods, they made me sweat a lot as well, around the ears especially. Now there are some hacks you can do to these. You can look it up on Google. You can put like the DT770 pads on, they fit, and change the headband and a few other things. I just thought to myself, why don't I just buy a better set of headphones instead of putting up with these cheaper ones? Yeah, look, for $59, I'm not really complaining. The sound quality out of them was great. And I've got this plugged in. Now, this may say it's 3 meters, but in reality, it's a meter unless you stretch it right out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, not a fan of these curled cords. I'd much prefer a straight one, which is what we have on the next headset that you'll see on my head. And these are the HD9s on my head. You may notice I've opened the door behind me because the temperature's gone down and there's actually a breeze outside now, so it's not ridiculously hot. So HD9's much more comfortable. I can't feel any pressure on the top of my head at all. No pressure around the ears, and I've worn these for 8 hours plus at a stretch with not much sweating going on. Nowhere near as much as the HD330s. So obviously, you know, they are double the price, so you would expect double the quality, let's say. Sound quality is excellent on these. Comfort is brilliant for my particular head size and shape. There's heaps more adjustment to go. I mean, you can see how high up they can go. These are much more comfortable. Could wear them all day long without really any pain. They do eventually, you know, you do feel that you're wearing a headset after a while, but nothing like the HD330s. As soon as I put them on, I can feel the pressure, whereas these ones I can't. In my opinion, these are a much better quality of headset in the manufacturing sense. So they're much more comfortable for me. I sweat less wearing them, and I can wear them for much longer periods than the other ones. Audio-wise, the sound quality is about the same. Anyway, so these are the PreSonus HD9s on my head. $119. I got them from a music store in Brisbane, and that's what they look like on my big head. So what's the main difference between the headsets that I've shown you and these? These are my old gaming headsets. I don't really wear these anymore. These are Plantronics 800 HDs. These are a wireless gaming headset. You may be thinking it's a little bit unfair to compare a $59 headset to a $119 or $120, $125, depending on where you buy them from, headset. Well, these Plantronics, these were $260 from JB Hi-Fi, just to give you a bit of an idea. Now, these are a gaming headset. There's a little button on the bottom here. You can change the sound profiles on them and things like that. They're wireless. They work on Xbox. They work on PlayStation. They work on PC. Non-monitoring headphones, i.e. gaming headphones or any other style of headphones, Beats, etc., those kinds of things, can have sounds enhanced in them. So extra bass, extra mids, extra treble, mostly it's extra bass. Things like Beats automatically have an extra bass placed into them. You saw in my last video how I go making my videos and the audio program I use and things like that. When you wear monitors, the mixing that I do in my audio program and how that sounds is how it's going to sound, if you like. There's nothing going to be added to it via these headphones. So you guys that are watching them on a set of headphones, if you're wearing them on a set of gaming headphones, and I know I have quite a deep voice, if you're listening, say, on a pair of Beats, you'd be getting extra bass, which is why I tend to drop the bass a little bit when I do the mix. Studio monitors traditionally are two speakers that you have either side of your monitor. You can see many guys who have a home studio on YouTube, they run monitor speakers, and the speakers are exactly the same. Nothing is added to them. No bass, no treble, no mids, no nothing. They're just basically two speakers that sit there. Monitor headsets are exactly the same. No sound, extra sounds are added. It's purely what comes out of the mix. So I guess, in fact, if you really wanted to listen to music as to how the mixer wanted you to hear it, or how the band got the mixer to mix the sound and how they wanted you to hear it, then technically you should use monitor headphones. Now, here's a point. These $119 headphones, the sound on these is about 100 times better than these that were double the price again. But obviously there's a fancy wireless. You can change the sound profile. You know, you push a button if you're watching a movie, push a button if you're playing a game. You get surround sound in them so you can hear someone walking up behind you in an FPS game, that kind of stuff. So yes, I'm not saying there isn't a place for these. There is definitely a place for these. But for pure sound and for listening to music, you can't go past monitors. Well, there you go. There's the two pairs of headphones that I bought. The slightly cheaper version and then the slightly more expensive version. As I said in the beginning, if you're really looking for something that's comfortable and you know that's going to have the adjustments to fit your particular style head, you're going to need to spend a little bit more probably than the $59 or $60 mark. Nothing wrong with those Superluxes if you've got the right shape head for them to fit. The sound out of them was great. And if you do the hacks and get the velour pads for the DT770s, they're a great headset. Unfortunately, for my shape head, they weren't. Do yourself a favour. If you like listening to music, dump the Beats and get yourself a proper pair of studio monitors. Instantly notice a difference in the music that you listen to, and it's how they wanted you to hear it. So, all right, that'll do us, eh? As per usual, I appreciate all my subscribers in the comments, And thank you very much for watching. And remember, as always, duty first.